Another big focus for the Trump administration is, of course, immigration. And one of the better-known faces and cases symbolizing that push to more strictly enforce immigration laws is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The Department of Homeland Security says he's once again back in federal custody, this time being processed for deportation to Uganda. Immigration and Customs Enforcement took him into custody in Baltimore earlier today after releasing him last weekend. Before turning himself in today, Abrego Garcia spoke through a translator outside that ICE facility.
And I want you to remember this. Remember that I am free, and I was able to be reunited with my family.
Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now from Baltimore outside that ICE facility. Camilo, what is the current status of Abrego Garcia?
Well, according to his lawyers, Abrego Garcia is back in ICE custody in Virginia, held at the detention center there in that state because Maryland does not have any long-term ICE detention centers. And as you underscored, Ed, the Department of Homeland Security has said that this man from El Salvador is now being processed for deportation to Uganda. We reported last week that the administration had brokered an agreement with this country in East Africa so that country would take back migrants and deportees who are not their citizens. This is one of the latest third-country deportation deals that this administration has been able to forge with different countries around the globe, including in Africa. And now this man is facing deportation to Africa even before his criminal trial starts next year. Because, again, the only reason, Ed, that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was brought back to the U.S. in early June after months of refusal by the Trump administration was so he could face federal charges related to human smuggling. The Justice Department is alleging that he transported undocumented immigrants from Maryland to different parts of the country and from Texas to different states like Maryland. He could very well be deported before that criminal trial starts.
He could, but a judge stepped in today and said he can't go right away, right?
That's correct. A federal judge here in Maryland, agreeing with the lawsuit filed just this morning by Abrego Garcia's lawyers, halted that deportation to Uganda for the time being. However, it is very important to underscore that Abrego Garcia did cross into the U.S. illegally back in 2011 and does have an active deportation order. He has a protection from being deported to El Salvador, but technically speaking, it is possible for the administration to try to deport him to another country, but obviously that is also now being litigated by federal courts across the country.
And real quick, he's not going to Uganda, it sounds like, anytime soon, but do we know what would await him should he get there? Is it some kind of facility they've set up? Could his family or attorney come to visit him? Is he free to move about the country? What's the status of someone who gets sent there?
It really is unclear, Ed. The Trump administration has not disclosed many details about this potential deportation to Uganda. What it has said is that Uganda is willing to accept this man in its territory. We do know that Costa Rica also offered to grant refugee status to Kilmar Abrego Garcia as part of a plea deal, but that was rejected by his attorneys.
All righty. Camilo Montoya-Galvez has been onto this case since it began, as he is with all things immigration. We appreciate you joining us here from Baltimore today, and we'll be in touch.